Hi, I forgot. I told someone I'd go on live at 6 and I completely forgot. So I'm here. I was doing some user testing and drinking some wine. I was waiting for someone to help me with talking about solar. There's a YouTuber called Hobotech that I'm paying him to give me a consultation on some solar panels I want to get, so I have solar. Hello, two people. Hi, Chris. Oh, you'll fix my roof? I don't think it's my roof. I have a vent, and I turned it righty tighty, and I think maybe I just didn't have it closed all the way, or it might have been I saw between the vent and the inside of the camper there's a, I don't know, what do you call that? A casing, and it looked like there was condensation, so it might have just been the condensation dripping, but it wasn't like a major leak. But I'm waiting for that's where they usually leak at, is the vent. Yeah, and I saw it actually dripping, but then when I spun the thingy the thingy thingamabob, the handle spinny thingy, when I turned it tighter it stopped. So um maybe that took care of it, but we'll definitely keep an eye on it. Excuse me, sorry. It's 6:14 here. So I made a video yesterday when I was all sad about some vision issues I was having, and I didn't know if they were considered like hallucinations or that's hoof. Hoof? That's good. Yes. So I was having vision issues like with lights, like red, my computer screen, how, it's lit up, and it looked like things that were red or blue were kind of popping off the screen, like I was looking at 3D, like they were just off the screen, like inches in front of the screen, and it was so bizarre. And then the same thing was happening with my car dashboard. So I called my neurologist to say that, because I didn't know if it was the brain atrophy or a seizure issue or the medication I'm on. And I was waiting for his office to call me back yesterday because I was pretty concerned about it. And they finally called me back this morning, and the receptionist person or nurse or woman, whoever it was, said that the neurologist said it's not neurological, that I need to call a psychiatrist. Now, after they said that, I went online and searched for frontal left temporal lobe seizures, right temporal lobe seizures, and brain atrophy, all of which are neurological issues. And guess what symptoms are? Hallucinations and vision issues. So I don't know why this neurologist is like pushing it away and telling me to see a psychiatrist, who also, I think psychiatrists are also neurologists, because psychiatrists are brain. Yeah, I have problems driving at night too. And half of it is probably getting old, it's just, but I know because my vision issues, I have an optic nerve issue from my mini stroke that I had. And actually, one of my MRIs showed that instead of a blood clot, it looks like a plaque in my next to my optic nerve. So having that damage near my optic nerve can also cause this. But what the problem is colors are not vibrant. My vision looks dim. So you can imagine what that does when you're driving at night. It's like wearing sunglasses at night. I wear my sunglasses at night. That's what it's like. It's like it's dark out and I'm wearing sunglasses and drinking wine. That's why I'm not driving tonight to pick up my prescriptions from CVS. That'll have to wait till tomorrow. How old are you, Chris, with your trouble driving at night eyes? Oh, see, I don't look at oncoming cars. Maybe looking into their headlights is bothering you. I kind of look down at the road or at the tail lights in front of me. But I try not to even drive at night. This last road trip that I did down to South Carolina, on my way down, I was driving at night and it was raining. So, and I was being extra vigilant about driving slow and what I was seeing because I was towing for the first time, towing the camper for the first time. So, oh, you're only 32. Wow. I'm 47. Um, so when I was driving, I was really, plus I was driving all day, so my eyes were probably tired, but I ended up pulling over and resting my eyes. Yeah. And in addition to having glare, Chris, you have water on your windshield. Even if you have, like, I have this new vehicle, so I have new windshield wipers, but you're not looking through a clean windshield all the time. So you have streaks and drips, and it's not easy to drive in the rain. So on the way home, I left in the morning. Overcast is awesome. It's so much easier driving in overcast for me than a sunny day. Do you camp, Chris? I had applied for Social Security disability since I can't work and I can't get New Jersey state disability because my job wasn't paying into that. They weren't taking out of my check. So I applied for Social Security Administration, the Social Security disability. And when I talked to them today, I told them about the vision issues that are new as well. Um, and that my neurologist referred me to go to a psychiatrist, and I can't find one that takes my insurance. So Social Security on the phone, my claims person told me that they were going to make me an appointment to be screened by their psychiatrist, which wouldn't treat me, but they'll be able to get me in to screen me in order to give Social Security information they need as far as a diagnosis to see if they think I'm eligible for Social Security disability. I have two people in the room. One is Chris, making America great again, and the other is I don't know. So all these, if anyone has been looking at my last few videos, all these religious things are happening that I'm not a religious person. I'm not like anti-religion, but I'm just not religious. And these crazy things have been happening. Like a gas station attendant wanted to pray with me and put his hands out and wanted me to hold his hands and pray with him and or pray for me. And I had a very um I had a experience in Savannah that I felt like my mom was um sending me messages. She just passed away. Um I should qualify, but everybody has a hard time. And if I don't, I've made decisions. My son is renting my house. I have no debt right now except student loan debt, and which stinks because I can't even work right now. So I went to college to be an art teacher and I can't even do that profession, but I have to pay back the student loans. But um there's I think Obama started it. There's something called the income-based repayment plan. And it was started because of kids were graduating college and there just weren't enough jobs. All these students were graduating college. I have heart issues too. My son has Marfan's, and it's hereditary. My cousin died. I probably have it, and I've had 2 open heart surgeries. Um, and I was supposed to go back to my cardiologist today, but he had a family emergency and couldn't see me, so I have to go next week. Um, so I have the heart issues too. So maybe my cardiologist can chime in on it too. Um, but now I lost my train of thought, which is not hard to do. What was I talking about, Chris? Income-based repayment plan. So if I can't work and my income is 0, the student loan income-based repayment calculator takes into consideration the cost of living, how many dependents I have, and what my income is. And then it calculates what my monthly payment is. So instead of a $300 monthly payment, which what it should be for what I owe, my payment right now, because I have 0 income, my monthly payment right now is calculated at 0. So I have to pay $0 each month. And I think every 6 months, or when my income changes, I have to go back on to the FAFSA website and recalculate based on my income what my student loan payment needs to be. And that's called an income-based repayment plan. And anyone can apply for that is paying back a student loan. So, yes, I do have a heart problem, but as far as I know, right now my heart is functioning okay. I do get out of breath, so I'm going to talk to my cardiologist about that. Um, yes, if your girlfriend doesn't have any dependents, see, I have a 10-year-old daughter, but also I have 0 income right now. But having a dependent, and my teaching salary was teachers make so much. Teachers don't take those jobs for the income. But I was making 27,000 as an art teacher, and based on that income with 1 dependent, my monthly payment was 0. And as a wedding photographer making 65,000, my income-based repayment plan, I had to pay 65 a month with 1 dependent. So it's a IBR calculator. She can look it up and punch in her numbers to see what her monthly payment would be. So she should definitely look that up. And I also found out that if I am approved for Social Security disability. Oh, and after my monthly payments that I'm calculated on having to pay back, since I started the income-based repayment plan, I believe I've been on it for 8 years now. And over the years, I've had different payment amounts based on what income I had. So after 25 years of being on that plan, no matter what my balance is, the balance is forgiven. Also, when I started, I worked at a Catholic school, and because that's a nonprofit organization, when I was working for that school, had I stayed working at that school, instead of 25 years, it's 10 years or 20 years that that it's paid off. I have to keep getting close to read your text. So Chris says that's what she did. She was an artist. She went to school at the Art Institute of Pittsburgh for filming too. What's Filming Too was filming her major. I love wine. It's so good. It's interesting. The Social Security papers um, asked me if my doctor told me that I couldn't drink alcohol, which the answer was no. And when I do drink alcohol, does it make my seizures worse? And it doesn't. And in fact, I think I talk better when I'm drinking wine. Like the words just come out of me correct. And when I'm not drinking wine, I do a lot of stumbling over words unless I'm doing that and I just don't realize it because I'm on my second glass of wine. She did photographing. Yeah. I love photographing. I thought about selling my equipment because I have professional camera equipment. I shot weddings for 13 years and I have I have a Canon 1DX and I have all my backup equipment too, which I probably don't need. I don't need backup equipment now. So I could sell my backup equipment. But I thought making art, I will still use my equipment. I take photographs of things and then draw from my photographs, but I might also be able to sell my photographs. It would be cool if I could generate income with my artwork. If I can't work in a classroom, I don't want to stop working and get a free ride. I don't mind working, doing things I can do. I'm just not able to function in a classroom when these temporal lobe seizures and atrophy are making my emotions like I would just start crying in front of the students for no reason. And I'm not depressed. I mean, the video I made yesterday, I was having a sad day, but I'm talking about I would just be in the classroom and I would just feel like, oh my God, I'm going to cry for no reason. I better go to the bathroom. And you get that lump in your throat, like you're going to cry. And I would start crying and I would have to turn because I wouldn't want the students to say, why are you crying? Because there was no reason. Or sometimes I would laugh inappropriately, or sometimes I'd be overly silly, but I do get silly. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm a funny person and I know the students like that. So some people might think that's a manic weird thing. Um, but that's just the way I teach. I have fun in my classroom, I have fun in my life. Um, so even if other teachers might think that's inappropriate, I don't. But so I don't think that's inappropriate laughing emotions. I cry when it's appropriate to cry. I don't laugh like I went to my mom's funeral and I didn't laugh. I don't, I cried when it's appropriate to cry, but then there's times that I shouldn't cry that I cry. Um, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm interested to see what the psychiatrist thinks. Even though he's not treating me, I hope he gives me some feedback because it's just really bizarre things. Maybe he'll refer me to some kind of other doctors within the Social Security doctor. The Social Security system is having a psychiatrist evaluate me. They're going to mail me something to tell me when my appointment is. If they can't figure out what my issues are, like the neurologist said this is a psychiatrist's issue, if the psychiatrist is like, no, this is a neurologist issue, I hope they refer me to a neurologist within the Social Security system. Thank you for the like, whoever gave me the like. Meant to say photographing. Google Voice sucks sometimes. You know what else sucks? Let me tell you what sucks. Ever since my phone updated, Siri is changing what I say. I use the voice thing because I've been having tremors and it's hard for me to type. So I say what I want it to type. And Siri is putting the most vulgar, obscene things, filling that in my phone. And it's like, I did not say that. And then I have to backspace and type anyway. And it's like so annoying. So that really stinks. Life is yeah, it is okay to cry. And I had a really good cry yesterday. I think I needed it. I don't think I had a good cry like that since my mom died. I mean, I had times when I'd cry here and there, and here it comes. It's coming on. See my face getting red. I do cry a lot, and I am as an artist. I have no problems speaking from my heart and showing emotions. But what's scaring me, and it's embarrassing, is when I start crying at things I shouldn't be crying over. Like, for instance, I walked down to ask another teacher a question and I started crying. And there was nothing to cry over, and it wasn't there was nothing sad. I just had a question to ask this teacher, and all of a sudden I started crying. And this teacher must have thought, oh my God, this woman's psycho. What is wrong with her? And I just said, I'm sorry. I don't know why. I guess I'm just emotional today. Like I had to apologize for myself. So I know it's okay to cry. Yeah, Siri's pretty terrible lately. Did you notice a difference with the latest update though? I had to get a new phone. It's coming tomorrow. I've been putting off getting a new phone because, and maybe this is the issue. My speaker hasn't been working on my phone. So maybe Siri honestly isn't hearing what I'm saying. I've had to put people on speakerphone because I can't hear them and they can't hear me through the normal phone unless I have them on speaker. And today there was an emergency that I had to make an emergency phone call, and the 911 operator on the other end of my phone couldn't hear me. And it was an emergency. And I had to like really hold the phone and kind of yell into my phone. And it made me realize, crap, this was an emergency and my phone wasn't working. I need to bite the bullet and get a phone. So I went ahead and went on and got a new phone today. And the phone I have is an iPhone 7, which worked fine besides like speaking. I could hear the person fine on speaker. But I guess that call, they just couldn't hear me. And up until then, people could hear me on speaker. They just couldn't hear me normal. I'm getting hot. I think I'm getting hot flashes from my wine. It sounds like you need to find somebody that makes you happy. I have found that people do not make people happy. Being in unhealthy environments make you unhappy. So I need to make sure I'm not in unhealthy environments. So if that means being alone, like when I find myself in unhealthy environments over and over in my head, I'm like, I was just so happy when I was alone. My happiest days were when I first gave birth to my son. He's 22 now, having a baby. I'm going to be a grandma. I am a grandma. My happiest times were when it was just my son and I. And I didn't have to answer to anybody else or share my time with anybody else. I could just dedicate my all to raising my child and being a good mom and going to college and learning and building myself up and taking care of myself and my family. That's when I was happiest. And I'm finding that now. I'm making sure my daughter is well taken care of with her dad, and I feel very content and good about that. I'm gonna have a great weekend with her. I have a great surprise weekend planned with her, and I don't want to say what it is in case she's watching right now or watches because I know she's a subscriber. So I'm not gonna say what that is. And then my son, I moved out of my house. My son is renting my house. Um, Probably in a few years, I'm going to go ahead and uh, sell him the house legally. So I'm going to add him to the deed, but I'm going to go ahead and sell it to him so it's out of my name altogether. Um, so I know he's taken care of in case I die. I know he has a home and he's all set. Um, like I feel like I have no stress. I have no debt. I can do whatever I want. The only stress I have is wondering career-wise what's happening. But now that I'm in the camper and I know the only bills I have are internet and phone and propane for heat. And right now I'm plugged into the house. So I'm helping with the electric bill. Yeah, sometimes you have to just cut yourself off. Like today, after that emergency situation happened, I'm like, you know what? I need a break. I'm not even going to answer my phone today. And that's okay. I need some me time. Um, Yesterday when I was upset, I wanted to take a nap because I knew I needed to turn my brain off. It's okay to have time for yourself. And I don't know, Chris, I don't know if you saw my video. I was interviewed a week ago when I was in South Carolina. A writer interviewed me, and one of the things she asked was, "Do I ever get lonely?" And I don't. And one of the things I said was, "You need alone time because, I'm 47 years old. You're in your early 30s. Let me teach you a lesson. Let me teach you a life lesson here as an older, wise woman who's had her share of good relationships and bad relationships. If you find a partner and you're in a relationship, it's wonderful to do things together. You need to do things together because you need to grow together. You need to have things that you can do together to grow your relationship and build it into a stronger relationship. However, you also need time alone. You need hobbies to do on your own. You need to not be jealous that your girlfriend wants to go to open mic night, and just because she's playing a song with this person or playing a song with that person, it doesn't mean she's hooking up with the person. She's just a musician and she's making music with people. So don't think that. If you don't make music and she wants to make music with people, you need to let her do that. Yes, I'm speaking from experience. Um, but like you need to grow as an individual, and sometimes you need friends outside of the relationship to do things with. And like for instance, this open I would go to open mic and I have friends that are musicians, and I didn't care if my boyfriend wanted to come to open mic with me. I wasn't trying to hide anything with from him. But if He saw a video of me making music with someone. He said, and I quote, he's like, "What? Do you have to sleep with every guy at open mic?" And I'm like, "What? You think because I'm making music with somebody that I'm sleeping with him? Like, where is that even coming from?" Like, I just couldn't deal with the jealousy. And you know what? I'm guilty of being jealous too. I've had several times that I get jealous. I've had insecurities and jealousy. Um, so I've needed to work on that myself, and I've watched YouTube videos and self-help videos because I don't want to be jealous. That's that puts unhappy, sad feelings in me. So part of me growing as an individual is I need to learn how to not be jealous. And I don't think I haven't gotten jealous in a while. I'm reading what you wrote. Chris says, I totally had to cut everybody off because I got clean off of drugs about 2 years ago. Good for you. And once I did, I realized none of the people that was around me was really my friend, just users. Yeah, you have to get away from unhealthy environments. You do. I found that all of my boyfriends were controlling people. I kept putting myself in relationships with controlling people. And I went to therapy and I I didn't find out why I was doing that. I wasn't told why I was doing that, and I still haven't found out why I was doing that. But what the therapist did tell me was I kept getting into these relationships and then I would leave. And she did say, trust your judgment. Obviously, you know you don't belong in those relationships and you're getting into a fight or flight mode and you're flighting, you're leaving. You know you don't belong there, but why do I keep going there, you know? So I'm just trying to be alone right now. And part of me, like I keep thinking about getting back with my ex, especially here I go, I'm gonna cry again. When you're diagnosed with brain atrophy and your neurologist sees that it's getting worse, and you have a dad that died from ALS and frontal temporal lobe dementia, you do worry about how long your life is going to be. And I do worry about if I'm going to be alone. And one of the things I know is my last ex-husband, yeah, we had some arguments and we had some terrible things we didn't agree on. But one thing I know is how loyal he was and how much he cared about me, and that he would take care of me and stand by me and make sure I took my medicine if I needed it. He would always remind me to take my medicine or pull it out and remind me to take my calcium chew or whatever. And he would not have me in a nursing home. He would keep me home and take care of me, and that's just how he is. So as I'm going through this, part of my mind is telling me I should have not left him. It's it's really hard. There were things that were bad, and then I think, I kept we were together for, I don't know, 7 years on and off, 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 and and then I think getting back with him might be selfish of me, and that what if I just break up with him again? And that's just gonna hurt him again, and that's just I don't wanna do that. I don't wanna hurt anybody. And maybe mentally, I'm just not okay to be in a relationship. So, why did I even get on this tangent? Ugh. Let me see what you wrote. It's good that you're not jealous. I've had boyfriends that there was no jealousy. There was no mistrust. Everything was wonderful. Everything was my son's dad and I. It was the most beautiful, wonderful relationship that I've ever had in my life. My son's dad, I was 22. I was 21 or 22 when I met him. I was 24 when we found out I was pregnant. We used protection every time. Um, and then I found out I was 3 months pregnant. And he wasn't ready for a family. And I felt like I needed to be a mom, and I couldn't do anything to not be a mom, if you know what I mean. I needed to have my child. So we broke up, and we tried to get along and see each other once a month, and he couldn't deal with it. And then when my son was 6 months old, he said, "I'm sorry, biggest mistake. Can I see him?" Of course you could see him. And we tried to get back together, and it just didn't work out because I had met someone else and fell in love with somebody else. Um, so why was I mentioning that? Oh, but before I got pregnant, oh my God, that was the best relationship I had ever been in. There was no insecurities. I felt like he was my best friend. I could say anything I felt. Um, I just felt so happy every day. I was just so happy. Um, Best time of my life. Honestly, it was the best. Sorry, I'm crying so much. It's ridiculous. Well, Chris, we have 2 likes. I guess crying gets the likes, huh? When you were in your 20s, you were jealous. Yeah, if someone's gonna cheat, they don't love you. I just don't understand cheating. Like, why not just break up? Why do you need to be with 3 different people or 2 different people? If you wanna be with someone else, just tell the person you're with, I want to see somebody else. I don't understand the cheating. I really don't. All right, it is 6:52 in the land of New Jersey, and I think I am going to log off and go to bed. So thank you for joining the live chat, Chris, and thank you whoever the second person was. And I'm going to log off. So everybody have a good night and have a happy tomorrow. And thanks for watching my emotional roller coaster. All right, bye.